Good morning. Good morning. How's everybody doing? Let people roll in. You already know. You already know, George. You already know. Cue the ice cube. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Good morning. Good morning. How we doing today? It's about 8 o'clock Pacific time. 8 o'clock. I'm out here on the West Coast. You know what time it is. Good morning, nation. How we doing today? How we doing today? I'm gonna try to do something a little bit different today. Gonna start off. Let's start off with a new segment. Before we hop into that, we'll let some people roll in. Let some people roll in and see how we doing. I see my boy in the building already cracking off. It's early, man. It's early. So if y'all wilding out, I understand. My boy Mark says, I don't know why everybody thought the Raiders would blow out the Tunas. That's a good football team. Blowouts don't happen often. Yeah, I totally agree, man. Yesterday was another wild game, but we're gonna hop right into that. Just want to go ahead and warm up. It's early. I'll go ahead and let y'all wipe the sleep out your eyes, blow your nose, brush your teeth. Make sure you brush your teeth when you pull up because I don't want no stank breath going through the phone. You feel me? So let's get this thing cracking. Good morning. Good morning. How is everybody doing? It's Monday. You know, I do a Monday or a show after the game the very next morning. We got to keep going. We got to keep it hype. We got to stay feeling good, and we got to start the week off correct. So let's start it off, boys. George, because of the boy George, you know what I mean? We had to start off with some Ice Cube. Today is a good day, and it will be. Raiders from PNW. Shout out to my boy Wade. How's it going? How's it going? Dave Maxfield. That game gave me a heart attack. Yo, like I said, I posted on my Instagram. I said, we're the most dramatic team in the NFL. We are the most dramatic team in the NFL, without a doubt, without a doubt. As y'all start rolling in here, you got your coffee, you got your tea, you got your wake and bake, whatever you do to make it shake. I don't care what you got going on. Make sure you hit the like button as you roll in. Appreciate everybody pulling up. Most definitely gave me a heart attack as well, man. It was too close at the end. What's good with it, Roy? Everybody getting their good mornings in. Really appreciate it. Let's keep the energy going. Knock Andrew in the building. Damn, just in time. Yes, sir. Knock Andrew. Andrew, what's good with it? How you doing, bro? Frank in the building. Good morning, Frank. Good morning, Frank. Raider Dangerfield, my boy. Good morning. How we doing? OG Fade in the building. OG Fade in the building. Knock Andrew over here laughing. What happened? What happened? Like the video, everyone. Yes, sir. Dave Maxfield. Appreciate the support. Appreciate it, though. They said it because Buffalo game. Yeah, we're gonna hop right into that, Frank. We're gonna hop right into that, Frank, because that's a good point. That's a good point. Buffalo just beat the brakes off the Dolphins, and the Dolphins want to come back strong and try to set their presence again against us. And we had to shut that down real quick. Tap them likes. You already know what time it is, Reggie Dangerfield. You already know. Yes, sir, Frank. Hit them likes. Waiting in the building. 303, what's good with it, fam? How we doing? Efren in the building. We just waking up. If you got your coffee, let me know. If you got your tea, let me know. If you waking and baking and watching the show, let me know how you doing. Queen Raider Red in the building. How we doing? Kevin Wine, just win is the mantra. No, not the style points. You feel me? Hey, you got to scratch and fight for that win. Do what you got to do. We got a question right here. We got Frank with a question right out the bat. Your opinion on Arnett? I'll go ahead and give you my opinion on Arnett, man. I'm not down on Arnett. That's me. I think we still got to give him time. He's not a starter, so I understand he'll get burnt sometimes, but he's not a starter, so that's why I'm not really tripping too much. He's sitting behind Mullen and Hayward, which I think is a good place for him. And that's where we should want him to be. We don't want him to start, you know what I mean? He's just only coming in to fill a spot when someone's hurt. We've seen that this game, obviously, we've seen the last game as well. But you'll see some sparks from Arnett. You'll see when he played the Steelers, he was pretty sticky. He was in man covers, and he made some breakups. So I think as a depth piece, you got to think Arnett is literally our third corner right now. So let's not try to get too down on him. Not yet. You know what I mean? Give him a little bit of time. A little bit of time, man. You'll probably hear me say that a lot throughout the pod, throughout this Good Morning show, because I just think our guys still need time. We're pretty young. We had a pretty big turnover this offseason to a lot of young. So we got a lot of young players. Wake and bacon coffee. I hear you, Raider Dangerfield. I can't even do wake and bake and then come up on here because I'd be up on here stuck as a skunk. So Terrence, y'all got to understand, Vegas runs these games. When you can gamble, of course, they're going to have the imprint on the game's outcomes, money. When we're going to see three through the illusion. I love my Raiders, though. Yeah, that's a Jesse in the building, your sub. But Terrence, man, that's a mouthful right there. Vegas got their imprint on it because they run the games. I mean, I think it ain't really boxing, you know what I mean? Because boxing for sure they be running that, but football potentially. Honestly, I don't know. I don't know. I don't like to get into that because I feel like it ruins the game. You know, Wade Rashad Bourne, Raider, aka Raider Shad. Thanks for the love, bro. What happened? What I missed something? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Raider Shad. Okay. Wake and bake with the coffee, the best duo. 303 Raider. Do your thing, player. Do your thing, player. Keep your head on the swivel. That fumble recovery by Ingle was clutch at the goal line. Ingle going back-to-back plays, picks up the fumble, goes in for the end zone on the very next play. That's what I'm talking about. Hey, Raid was good. How you doing, Al? How you doing? Hey, would you resign Perriman next year and let Murrow walk? That dude is a dog. Good question. I think Perriman, I'll have to look up the contract, but I think when we traded for Perriman, his contract was already longer than a year. So I don't think we would have to re-sign him next year. Maybe if you're talking about like just giving an extension, I could see that, but I think if he has time on his contract, which I'm not 100% sure, but I think he does since we traded for him, that I would wait till next year to re-sign him. Give him this year, play it out, then re-sign him next year. That's a good question. That's a good thought. You know what I mean? Get that out the way. We're at Dangerfield. Last year, we would have blown that game. Yeah, most definitely. We probably would have blown that game. We was down 14 early. We was down 14 early. Casey Bourne. What was that? What's that right there? You was at Fort Bragg with the engineers, or where was you at, boss? Casey? I see you in the Sergeant Bourne right here with the engineer battalion patch or brigade. Let's see, those short sinking dunks killed us. Do you think the defense was exposed to it? I don't think the defense was exposed to it. And this is when I'll tell you why. That's exactly how you play the cover three. You have to go underneath every single time when you play the cover three. Underneath, or you have to beat them with the cover three beaters, which is basically the crossers, where you try to hit the backside linebacker and beat them over the top, which we've seen happen against the Ravens when Hollywood Brown beat us and Sammy Watkins beat us doing the crossers. Those are cover three beaters. The Steelers tried doing what the Ravens did with those cover three beaters with the crossers. Corey Littleton did great on the backside covering that play when they try to get to us on that. That was against the Steelers. This game, I didn't really see that. I didn't really see those crossers as much, but I have to watch the film because you can't really see the field on the broadcast. Now, the way Jacoby Brissett plays the ball, he'll dink and dunk all day and then take the yards and run. If you notice, Jacoby Brissett got some scrambles out of there, and he did get first downs with his legs. He also would dink and dunk, which is how you kill the cover three, because cover three, and the way Coach Bradley plays the defense, you got to think he doesn't blitz, right? So then they're trying to keep everything in front of them, and then you read and react, and you just play fast. And you'll hear the players say that a lot. So I think that's what it was. When you get a quarterback that's very experienced, they're just going to do that. Big Ben, he likes to air it out. You know what I mean? He'll be itching to air it out. So that's why he threw the pick, the Mullen type stuff. You know what I mean? You'll see as the season goes on, a lot of those dink and dunk strategies will come into play because it's either that or you try to get the cover three beaters. That's what I think of it myself. You know what I mean? Appreciate the comment though. That's a good comment right there. That's good insight. That means you actually paying attention because me and CNG, I went on live with CNG yesterday, and me and CNG text throughout the game, and we were talking about the defense and is it actually as good as we think? And I'll hop into that a little bit later. But appreciate that comment. I really like that one. Jacoby was nice yesterday. Clearly better than Tua, in my opinion. Yeah, Dave. That's what I'm saying, Maxfield. Jacoby Brissett is a veteran quarterback, man. He's been around. He played with the Patriots. He played with the Colts. Started games for both of those franchises. Now he's starting the game for the Dolphins, and he could potentially take over the role as a starting quarterback for Tua because some people are down on Tua. Not me, myself. I wouldn't say I'm too down on Tua. He's still young. And another thing is I'm not big on starting your franchise guy or your first round draft quarterback, I'm not big on starting them year one. That's just how I am. I would never start my first round quarterback year one unless the team is like Super Bowl bound or something like that. But even then, it's still potentially tricky because you don't want to mess up the mental, potentially an injury, or just confuse the guy that first year, and it kind of hinders his progression. You know what I mean? Instead of just sticking his head in the books, sitting behind a veteran guy and continue to build the team around him, and then go like that. You know what I mean? So it's it's tricky. I know a lot of people don't agree with that opinion, but I think you should be sitting your QB1 when you draft them. This is to his second year now, though, so he's coming off that injury. We'll see what happens. Knock Andrew with the super chat. Appreciate it, big dog. I'm doing good, bro. Birthday boy tapping in. Hey, everybody, you already know what time it is. HBD, happy birthday to Knock Andrew. Make sure y'all say happy birthday to Knock Andrew. Bro pulls up all the time. Bro's always supporting. It's his birthday. Give him a happy birthday on this Monday, y'all. Efren, I'm at work watching the show. Hey, appreciate the support, big dog. Appreciate the support. Sergio, good morning, Victory. Yes, Victory Mondays. You already know what it is. You got the hash pin and some coffee. Hey, George, get it right. Eric Jimenez in the building. Yo, he said, what up, though? 3-0. That's what I'm talking about, Mondo. You know what I mean? I ain't no rapper, but that's what it is. He said, dink. Yep. Frank Ray, Buffalo got lucky with mistakes from Miami. We made mistakes that made it close. That's why that's why people thought, yeah. Definitely. Yep. I see the birthdays filling up. Sauce Nation in the building. Snoop's in the building. Shima86 up here. Who's at fault? DC or Morrow stopping en route for the pick six? Let's talk about it. Who was at fault when it came to that interception? The pick six, who was at fault? Was it DC or Morrow? What do you guys think? I'll hop right into it. And I'll say the play was just miscommunication, obviously, but at the same time, I'm just glad that the play was not a forced, you know what I mean? It wasn't a forced turnover. It's not like he was sticky coverage on Morrow and then he jumped the route. It's not like DC was pressured to the point to where they hit his arm or something crazy like that, and then it just popped out. Now, it was just a miscommunication between the quarterback and the wide receiver, and I'd rather see that than a forced thing, because that means it's on us. That means we could fix it ourselves. We're making the mistakes. They're not forcing the mistakes. Okay, so we're hindering ourselves more than someone punishing us, and that you kind of rather see that. It just depends on how you want to look at it. But I see a lot of people giving my boy happy birthday. Appreciate that. And we got Raider Not. Birthday boy says it was DC. Jesus says DC. Raider Way says both. Raider Dangerfield says, I think Morrow cut his route short. Yeah, he most definitely did. Kiwi got DC. Yeah. DC was at fault, but Morrow could have helped it not happen if he was looking to help DC out. Yeah, I mean, I think for me, I'm going to blame Carr. And I'm the biggest Carr supporter. Y'all would have heard, since I started my YouTube channel, in which I just started after the draft this year. I started my YouTube channel after the draft this year. I'm the biggest Carr supporter. I think Carr. I've been saying Carr is a top 8 quarterback. But that right there, that was Carr's fault. I think Morrow was sitting there because he wanted to find that sweet spot in the zone. And you'll hear players, commentators, coaches say, receivers find out how to find those zones, how to sit down in the zone. And when they're able to do that, then they're open. You can't just keep running drags or whatever you want to call it when they're just sitting in zones, because then you'll just run from one zone into the next. So what he was doing, he was running, he read it to zone, he sat down, and then I think DC obviously thought he was going to keep running. He ends up throwing it like he's going to continue to route, and he doesn't. So I think it was DC, man. I think it was DC, man. Morrow sat down, and when you watch the play, when Morrow sits down, he really didn't have anybody around him. So it's tough. I was only watching the broadcast as all of us were. So until you really see the film and see like the bigger perspective from a different angle and all that, just to see exactly what the defense was doing, because the Miami defense is good. You know what I mean? I know their offense is a little bit shaky, but their defense is pretty legit. They run all sorts of stuff. They run a lot of man, but at the same time, the way they're lined, they'll put people on the line and then they'll have them drop back. Sometimes a guy will be in zones. There'll be certain guy in zones, but then everybody else will be in man. So you kind of have to just watch the film and then get an idea of what they're doing, because it's not as simple as just saying, "Oh, okay, okay, they're in man and that's it." No, sometimes it'll be a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and they run different schemes. It's just not that simple. It's really, it can't be that simple because the quarterback will just pick that apart, right? So some people said good play by the linebacker. Carr pointed to himself after that play, indicating it was his fault. I did see that, George. You know what I mean? DC admitted it was his fault. He assumed Foster was going to stop, and he didn't. Right? So I think keep going. He was going to continue the route. I think what you meant. Yep. Appreciate the happy birthdays and Knock Andrew. Happy birthday, dog. How old are you, Knock Andrew? Let us know in the chat. Mark Davis Barber. That's a funny name, man. Mark Davis Barber. Make sure you go get a profile picture, dog. You just got an M as your profile picture. Go get a profile picture of Mark Davis or something if that's going to be your name. Come on now. CJ Henderson traded to the Panthers for a tight end. Yo, we could have got CJ Henderson for that. Yo, I like CJ Henderson. We should have went and got CJ Henderson. What the hell? Dang, man. That's a steal, yo. CJ Henderson's a first round talent. That's a first round talent right there. You know what I mean? Having him as our number 4 corner, I mean, he would instantly come in and challenge Mullen. I guarantee it. But I don't think we need a corner. I just think it would be dope to have him. I like him. Number 4, DC admitted that the interception was on him, and even if it wasn't, that's what a leader is supposed to say. Yeah, I don't know 100%. I gotta see the film. I gotta see what the defense actually was doing. You just watch the broadcast, but you also hear Derek Carr say it was his fault. I think Morrow sat down in the zone, though. You know what I mean? You see 2 linebackers. No linebacker was really plastered to Morrow, and the linebackers kind of drop set. So we'll see. It takes 2 to tango. Yeah, exactly. There was miscommunication. Let's just chalk it up to that. And we won the game. But Carr managed the game after. 89, JD was good with it. 89, Brian Edwards is going to eat more and more. Do you think we should be more aggressive? I think we've been pretty aggressive, man. We could even, but to your point, we can even get more aggressive, right? Because Edwards Edwards kind of turns up later in the game. If I've noticed, you know, in this game in the first quarter, he finally got a catch. He got a nice catch, and the run after catch, they couldn't tackle him. The arm tackles was too weak for the boy. But we could get a little bit more aggressive. But I'd like to see it settle down, because I feel like when we start the game, we kind of start off slow. Not even kind of. We start off slow, and the point to that is, you even hear the commentator talk about how 9 games straight, our opening drive, we haven't scored. 9 games straight, we haven't scored on an opening drive. So I think that just goes to say how slow we start, and we got to definitely fix that. And right now it's kind of like nitpicky because we won 3 games in a row, right? So at this point, you got to nitpick, figure out what those little things are, and change those so you can continue to go from a good team to a great team to the best team, right? Vincent Flores, they both weren't on the same page. Yeah, I mean, we'll go after them, man. Dwayne Thomas says it wasn't a zone. Okay. I mean, it probably wasn't a zone, man. I mean, some people are saying Dwayne says it was a cover 1. That's the thing. I think there could have been players in cover 1, but when you watch that play, it's like the linebackers dropped, but then Morrow sat in between them. And if you watch when the ball was thrown, the linebackers were literally nobody was on Morrow. The linebackers just dropped back in the zone, what it looked like. So I'm not 100% sure what you mean that it was cover 1, because those linebackers definitely weren't in man. They weren't covering anybody in man. The guy who the guy who intercepted it, who was his man? It wasn't Morrow. Definitely wasn't Morrow. So I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure on that. You know what I mean? Everybody got their own perspective. Call it what you want. It's not, man. Yeah, see, everybody has their different. So Stephen Henson, DC said he threw where he thought Morrow was going to be. DC said it was his fault. You feel me? Like, Let's not dwell on this. Let's not dwell on this. Blow it in on 4th and 20, though. Is that the one where Max Crosby, Martin T, let me know, is this the one you're talking about where Max Crosby got the PI? Or not the PI, I'm tripping. The unnecessary roughness, the late hit on the quarterback? I seen what you meant by Morrow sitting down. Yeah, because you'll see, you feel me, Raider Dangerfield? How he came across and he sat down right in between, and he was pretty open. If Carr would have hit him, he would have been open, turned around and ran for another 5, if not probably scored. So, and we were methodically moving the ball down the field. If you guys think about it, we got into the red zone, moving the ball down the field, and we shot ourselves in the foot. They didn't force the interception. It's not like there was a crazy play. You did a backflip to make an interception, or Derek Carr had a guy wrapped around his waist trying to tackle him, right? So, no, that was on Foster, but it's all right. Yeah, see, it's 50-50 right now, man. Yeah, JD. Foster looked wide open, whereas Carr looked as if he was throwing to a spot. Yeah, see, that's a tough one. But let's not dwell on it too much. What's your opinion on the O line? I'm gonna get to that, brother. I'm gonna get to that, Escobar. Cunningham in the building. What's good with it, Cunningham? Appreciate you pulling up, big dog. I don't think I seen you yesterday, man. You might have been busy, but he slides through today with the super chat. Appreciate it. Miami is better with Brissett, and their secondary is no joke. These are the kind of games, and we usually end up losing. I'm proud of our team. Shit is different now. Most definitely. You could literally feel how it's different. You could literally feel how different it is, because the game, how it went, it was 14-0 starting. We came back and it ended up being, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but 25-14 or 24-14, right? So that just goes shows how different this team is, because that means our defense held them. Our defense held them to 0 points for a long period of time. And not only that, the defense held them to 1 touchdown for one long period of time, because out of those 14 points, one of them was the pick 6. So that's not too bad. You let our offense go out there and put up 24 points, and you only let the opposition score 1 touchdown. So that's not too bad, considering the offense also let them score a touchdown. So I think that says a lot, Cunningham, man. Let me know what you think, Cunningham. Why do you think it's different? Why do you think this year is so much different, Cunningham? I want to hear your opinion on that, boss. Appreciate the super chat. How do you feel about Gruden being conservative towards the end of the game? I was talking about this with CNG, and when you look at this game and then you look at the Steelers game, right? What do you guys think about the Steelers game when we ran it and Peyton Barber got a couple first downs and then we closed the game? You see what I'm saying? We did that last game and it worked out. The score would have been nearly the same, right? If the running game, the conservative, right? The running game would have worked out this game, the score would have nearly been the same as it was against Pittsburgh. And that's kind of how I was thinking of it, right? So it is conservative. Don't get me wrong. And how do I feel about it? I'm not really tripping, because we've seen it work. We already seen it work against Pittsburgh, to where we got conservative. And boom, it worked. This game, we tried to do it again, and it didn't really work. So now it's going to be questions. You see what I'm saying? And they end up coming back, and we had to go to overtime. And I think that's pretty much what it is. But I don't really like the conservative play calling. It's just part of the game. It's situational. We're trying to chew clock. We're trying to do the power. Our offensive line just isn't getting the push that it should, and we don't have Josh Jacobs. I feel like if we had Josh Jacobs and we got the push that we needed from our old line, which is probably the core thing lacking right now, which is the offensive line, then it would be a lot different, because then we'd be pounding the rock, getting those first downs, and trickling the time away. Nick 209, we still have to improve. Don't get complacent. 100%, dog. 100%, because that Miami game, we could have easily lost that because of complacency. But every game's tough. Knock Andrew turned 25 today. 25 years alive, man. That's a blessing, man. Happy birthday again to you. What's good with it, Callie? What's good with it? Perriman is an enforcer. Yes, D. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, JD. DC saw it as man, not zone. It's a site miscommunication. Yeah, man. I mean, let's not dwell on it too much. I'm sure Derek Carr was freaking, him and Morrow will go over it and go after. You feel me? Yeah, it was only a 3rd and Dan Arnold. Bro, we could have got CJ Henderson. That's crazy. But we never really traded for big time. Pastor Raider in the building. What's good with it, dog? Yo, that's so funny, bro. Pastor Raider, I seen you pull up on Honcho's show that one time. Man, that shit was hilarious, man. But Pastor Raider, you got some good insight, man. Most definitely. I like you on his show. Appreciate you stopping by, dog. You for sure know what you're talking about. But Pastor Raider says, in the end, this is a bend, but don't break effort from our defense. Most definitely. We really need work on little things. Offense did its thing again, but we are still having red zone issues. Hope you are well read. Most definitely I'm doing well because I'm live here with y'all. We're pretty deep. We're 135 deep. Appreciate everybody pulling up. Make sure you hit that like button, most definitely. And if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. Every morning after the game, I do a good morning show, Good Morning Nation show, just to recap, talk about the things, talk about what we can see in the future and all that. But Pastor Raider, appreciate you pulling up. And I definitely agree. This defense is a bend, don't break defense. That's why you're able to get those little dink and dunks. You'll see when we play a team if we play a team like, for instance, Tom Brady, somebody like that who's willing to just take those little dink and dunks, who's willing to just check it down every single time, then you're going to see our defense kind of just continue to get yards gained on them all the way down to the end zone. Quarterbacks get impatient with that, and they'll want to push the ball. They'll want to force the ball in certain situations. That's what our defense is built off of. So basically, you're 100% right, Pastor Raider. I agree with you. And we do have to work on the little things, man. Red zone issues they're still there. They're still there. I'll have to definitely look into it a little bit more because I know with John Gruden, his first 3 years, our offensive red zone have been garbage. It's been garbage. But this year, I'll have to look into it a little bit more. It's been 3 games. I don't know if it's been as bad in the past, but we definitely got to work on that. Pastor Wright, appreciate you pulling up on me, dog. Make sure y'all hit that sub button if y'all new here. Make sure you hit that sub button. I'm gonna be doing Solomon Thomas film study. I'm gonna drop that this week. I'm just waiting on the film for this Dolphins game. Then I'll be doing doing last game and putting it all together. Also gonna be doing Nate Hobbs. So if y'all have anybody in particular y'all want to see, make sure y'all drop their name in the comments. And whoever's name I see most is most likely who I'll be doing the film study. Young boy George Strait says somebody in the comments earlier said something about forcing the Dolphins opposition to throw down the field against a really good secondary. So we started to run the ball. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah. Yeah, most definitely, man. Yeah, the thing is it's later in the game, so you want to run the ball. You can't just be one dimensional. I know some people will say it's conservative, but imagine you go out there and you make a mistake throwing the football. Then that's what everybody will be complaining about. Nobody would be complaining about how, oh, they should have ran the ball. That's what everybody would be saying. So if you go out there and you pass the ball and you're slinging it and you go throw a pick and then they go down and score, then they're going to say, why are you throwing the football? There's only so much time left. You should have been running it more. So you damned if you do, damned if you don't. Situational football, you can't hindsight situational football. You can't hindsight situational football, okay? Individual play, yes, but situational football, you can't do that, man. It's like last year when we played the Dolphins. What a coincidence, right? Last year when we played the Dolphins, instead of scoring the football, we kicked the field goal with barely any time left. That right there, John Gruden was criticized. But just the week before, the Falcons got criticized for scoring and then kicking the ball off and then letting their team go down and kick a field goal. So the very next week, we do the opposite and we still get criticized. So it's damned if you do, damned if you don't. And just to John Gruden's defense in last year's situation, who would have thought that the defense would give up so many yards in such little time? Arden Key would face mask Fitzpatrick, and he would make like a 30-yard bomb while getting a face mask. That's just so many things had to go right for the Dolphins last year. So it's situational football, man. You can't get caught up on that too much. Can't get caught up too much, but that does make sense, George Strait. Kelly says we gave them 2 TDs in the first. Exactly. One, the offense gave them a touchdown, and the defense gave them a touchdown. But to my point in the defense is that you got to think they had 14 points, but only 7 were given up by the defense. Only 7 points were given up by the defense. And then we went and scored about 24 points, and it was 24-14, right? So that just means the defense held them to 7 points for a long time, for a long period of time. You feel me? So that's something always look forward, boss. Always look forward as our defense is looking up. Let me move down, man, because I got a super chat from my boy. He says, target practice music. Oh, what's good with it? Target practice music. Shaky start, but we got back. People need to start crediting Carr because he went for 385 yards besides the rough start. Credit to him for not giving up. Yeah, most definitely, man. Derek Carr is going off right now, yo. How many yards does Derek Carr have right now? Like, I think 1,200 yards. And if I'm not mistaken, I've seen somebody put out a tweet saying that Derek Carr is on pace for 6,800 yards. 6,800 yards, like that would be insane. That'd be insane. But to this right here, you definitely got to give Carr his credit, which I feel like he should have been getting credit since his whole career. You know what I mean? I've liked Carr his whole career. There's been times that I've been mad at Derek Carr. I'm screaming at the television, but Carr should have been getting credit his whole career. Since John Gruden got here, that turnover was crazy. And the fact that we are where we are with such a young roster, Derek Carr playing at the level he's playing, which he was pretty much playing at this level last year. He just didn't get the same amount of throws, the same amount of opportunities and snaps. Didn't have a defense that could stop the opposition. So this year, we're just seeing it all come together. Appreciate the super chat, dog, but we definitely started shaky. We got it together. Carr with 385 yards, so he definitely deserves his credit. And that man doesn't give up. You got to realize last year when we played the Chiefs, y'all remember last year when we played the Chiefs, we were down to the Chiefs when we were in Kansas City. I think Carr even threw an interception against Kansas City, and we still came back and won. Carr still came back and just let that thing rip. So it was big time. It was big time. Appreciate the super chat. Target practice music. Good one. That's a good one right there, man. No, it was zone, I believe, cover 2. Yeah. It's we gotta see it from full spectrum. If I get once I get the film, hopefully I get the film this week, and I'll just put that play. I'll just put that play alone, and we can go over it or something. Appreciate the super chat. Raider down under. We 3-0, win pretty, win ugly, just win, baby. This team has grit. Miami has a great D, but we still had control. Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing that we have to realize is they have a great defense, right? They were just waiting to make a play. They were just waiting to make a play. I remember the stat that they showed is that the Dolphins had 25 straight games with the turnover or a takeaway. Same thing, but 25 straight games. That is ridiculous. 25 games straight with a turnover. Could you imagine if our defense went 25 games, every 25 straight games with a turnover? Like you're giving our offense an extra possession every single game. That just makes your odds of winning that much more. And you got to think, they started 14-0. They were up 14-0. That's because they got that takeaway. So that helped a lot. That helped a lot. So Miami's defense is good. I think it was just almost a lot of people were saying, what is this a trap game? This brings me to the point is when people were saying, was this a trap game? Me, I was saying no. I don't think it was a trap game, but after watching it, the feeling was like it was a trap game. So I could have been definitely wrong about that. Could have been definitely wrong about it not being a trap game. But we ended up coming out on top, and that's what matters. Like Raider Down Under says, we're 3-0, win pretty, win ugly, just win, baby. Raider Nation for life. You know what it is, Raider Down Under. Appreciate you pulling up, big dog. I had another super chat. I had another super chat from my boy Cunningham. He said, I think it's confidence and a higher standard is being set. Also, I think they've matured from how the last 2 seasons ended. Happy birthday, by the way, Knock Andrew. It's not my birthday. It's Knock Andrew's birthday. But happy birthday, Knock Andrew. Most definitely, dog. I think the confidence, someone had commented, I wish I would know because I like giving people in the comments a shout out. You feel me? But I can't remember who said it, but they said something about when we went for it. That right there showed a lot in the team. Going for it on your own side of the football field, 1 yard to go. You're showing trust in your defense. You're showing trust in your, and that was the time. Now that I think about it, it just came off full circle. The only time they scored, obviously outside of the unanswered points at the very end when they were, they really had to force it. Outside of that, that was the only time they scored is when we went for it on our own side of the field. That's the only time they scored because they broke like a 20-yard run by Gaskins, I believe, and he ended up scoring. That was pretty much the only time they scored for a long time in regulation, right? So that right there says a lot about our defense. But at the same time, it shows confidence in our team that John Gruden is willing to say, okay, I'm going to go for it right here. I'm going to go for it. I trust our offense. I trust our defense. And that right there, I feel like sent the message to the entire team. The entire team said, host, like that was a surprise to me that he was willing to go for it right there. And the fact that our defense gave up the touchdown, but then the offense still came out to score, put up points, and the defense still kept them from scoring points after giving that up. I think it just says a whole lot about our team, the resilience, the trust, the maturity, the understanding of the game, and that it's a long season. And so that right there, going for it right there, I think was a big time. It was a big time play for the team, like sending a message to the team from John Gruden. So big time Cunningham. I think it was, man. You're absolutely right, dog. I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. I thought I seen another super chat. I don't want it to disappear, so let me get to it real quick. Yes, sir, right here. Boy George says, $2 to make up for that nonsense I wrote before. I'm not even sure. Did I miss your super chat? Did I miss your super chat? What nonsense, bro? What nonsense, bro? What nonsense? But I know people wanted to start talking about the offensive line. So let's go ahead and start in the trenches with the offensive line. And I'll start from the left to right. Colton Miller. Colton Miller's Colton Miller. He's the same player I've always thought him to be. He's a solid left tackle. He's above average, most definitely. He still has room to get better, but he is our best lineman by far. Moving to the right, you got John Simpson. John Simpson has to step it up. His blocking hasn't been as good. And I don't think it's even with John Simpson. I don't think so much is his power. I think with John Simpson, it's more of him just picking up the block, seeing the loose guy get around him. That's with John Simpson, right? With Andre James, yo. Woo, Terrence L. Hey, Terrence in the building. Terrence in the building. Hey, did I make you a mod yet, Terrence? I can't. Let me check the YouTube real quick. Did I make you a mod yet? I gotta check, dog. I gotta check, bro. I gotta check. No, I didn't make Terrence a mod. I didn't make Terrence a mod. Dick Vitale, I gotta make you a mod still. Charm City, you're not a mod, Charm City? You're not a moderator? I gotta figure this moderation thing out, man. I could have sworn I made all y'all mods. Yeah, that's wild, man. I'm about to do it right now. We about to pull up. We about to have a couple of moderators. We got Charm City, who's gonna be a moderator. We got Terrence is gonna be a moderator. Dick Vitale for sure gonna be a moderator. Dick Vitale, I'm glad to see you pull up, dog. Hey, it's crazy because just last night I was like, dang, I ain't seen Dick Vitale in a little second now, but here you are pulling up. Appreciate you pulling up, dog. Really appreciate you pulling up. You always showing support, always showing love. Let me just check real quick. Moderation, permissions, community. Okay. So let me see what I can do real quick. We got Terrence LJ. Terrence. It's like, how do I get to your Terrence L? How do I get to your Terrence L. Carey Jr.? How do I get to your URL? Because they make me put the URL in just so I could put the what's it called? And then when I type it in, of course, it doesn't pop up. I'll make sure. I'm gonna keep y'all tapped in. I'm gonna make sure y'all mods. I'm gonna make sure y'all mods. Terrence L. Carey Jr. Terrence L. Carey Jr. Why isn't it not popping up though? why is your URL not popping up, man? I can't find you. Yeah, I can't find you for some reason. Let me see. Hold up real quick. I can't find you. Let me see if I can do it like this. Yeah, it's not working, man. All right, I'll figure it out. But I'll for sure make y'all minds. Frank in the building, he says, I agree with you on the situation of football. However, it's got to be consistent. Is he consistent? If you are playing conservative, play conservative. If you're playing aggressive, then play aggressive. Then don't play aggressive. I think with that, man, you got to think he's just conservative. I think he is pretty consistent. John Gruden's pretty consistently conservative. I feel like you could comfortably say that. I wish we would have at least passed once when we went for it. Yeah, no doubt, bro. When we went for it on that 4th and 1, I didn't like the play call. The offensive line wasn't blocking well. The run game was not going well whatsoever, and you run a dive. I just don't understand that. And then the fact that you take the ball out of Derek Carr's hands, I feel like you give the ball to Derek Carr in the shotgun and tell him to figure it out. You could have easily made. We had so many plays that were pass plays that worked well. When there was one with Ruggs where he did a whip, there was also one with Zay Jones where he motioned. Oh, there was also the one with Ruggs when Ruggs motioned and then he came back, flying back, and then Carr threw it to him for about a 15-yard play. We could have easily done anything like that. I'd rather do that than try to punch it in because them 1-yard runs never work for us. We always get stuffed. On it, man. It was Malcolm Brown who scored. Malcolm Brown. Yep. You're right, Ramos. It was Malcolm Brown. We have our hardest test Monday against the Chargers. The funny thing is, Pastor, is that I think every week's going to be our hardest test. Because going into Monday – going into Monday Night Football against the Ravens, we're playing the Ravens. They're a playoff team. They're a very good team. They have a good defense. They have Lamar Jackson. That was the toughest game, right? And then we go to Pittsburgh. We know Pittsburgh's stout up front. They've known to stop the run. Let's see if we can get it done. They got Big Ben. They have weapons. Najee Harris. We get it done. Miami Dolphins have a stacked defensive back room. Their defense is fast. They get to the ball. They have some struggles on the offensive line, and then they have a quarterback changing out. So that's also another thing. So this week now is the Chargers. So it's like every week's going to be the test. Every single week is going to be a test because we're winning. That's why. Until we get that first L, honestly, we're going to feel that tension. We're going to feel that suspense to like, oh, man, are we going to win again? Are we going to win again? Until you actually get that L. But it is going to be a test. The Chargers are first division game. It's in LA, which is a home away from home. I don't give a shit if it's in LA. We finna take over. It's finna be all black and silver up in there. You already know how that works, but it's gonna be a tough game. Their defense is playing well. Justin Herbert is an up and coming superstar quarterback. And you can't knock that. You can't knock that. I don't care if it's the rival. I'm a realist, and when someone's playing well, you have to put respect on it, and you have to respect your opponent. You know what I mean? It's one thing to respect your opponent. It's another thing to fear them. So make sure you always respect your opponent. Never underestimate anybody because that's how you get slapped in your face. All right. Victor, I don't think he saw. He said, we the first team in NFL history with 3 straight wins over teams with 10-plus wins from prior seasons. That's facts, Mo. We made history yesterday. For those that don't know, we made history yesterday. And we were the first team to get 3 straight wins over 10-plus wins of the prior year. Greater Raider, I appreciate you dropping that knowledge, dropping that comment on us, man. Dick Vitale, I was actually glad we had a game like that. Right? You can look at it like that, man. It showed that we have resilience. It showed that we're willing to fight. It kind of a wake-up call. Like, hey, don't sleep on anybody. It's a wake-up call. Like, hey, you need to brush these things up. This game was easier, obviously, versus the prior two, potentially, right? Because some people might say the Steelers aren't as good as the Dolphins. I don't know, but I think this was a game that we needed a wake-up call. But to this is what I was thinking. If we keep having games like this that are long down to the very end, long to the stretch, right? We're going into overtime. This is a 17-game season. we can't be going into overtime multiple games. You know what I mean? You can't add extra quarters of football on these players. We are already down half the offensive line, right? Last week we were down 3 offensive linemen when Leatherwood went out. So we can't force ourselves to play more football than we have to. And that's kind of something I'm looking at right now. 17-game season, and we have 2 overtime games already. So we'll see what happens, man. We'll see what happens. Our net is looking soft. We'll get to that, man. We'll get to that most definitely. Corey Littleton balling out. Yes, I agree, man. I think he's balling out. He's getting Corey Littleton. Go back to what Eric Burgess says. Corey Littleton is kind of getting overlooked, man. He's balling out, yo. Last week he was playing very well against the Ravens. He played very well. I know he missed a tackle on he overran that running, but he could have got help. I mean, there's a safety back there. He could have got help from the corner. He could have got help from Abram. There was many times linebackers missed, and then they got help from the DBs. It was close up their backs against the wall, and he ends up outrunning it. I think that was just one bad play that everybody wants to microscope in on. But outside of that, he's played very well. It's like Derek Carr threw the pick 6. You're not going to sit here and say Derek Carr's playing bad. Derek Carr's balling out. Corey Littleton's balling out. I think the whole defense is playing pretty well, man. There's only 1s and 2s. Defense looked good for 3 quarters. Got to finish in the 4th. I agree, most definitely. And the offense giving the ball right back doesn't help. Yeah, that didn't help at all, man. That didn't help at all. That's what I think everybody's talking about with the conservative. You can't be conservative in those situations. You got to put your neck on the throat. You gotta. It's time to get grimy. It's time to get grimy when the time gets slim. Say what you want about our D, but in OT and the majority of the game, we held them to field goals, even though the game was very close. I'm proud of them. Most definitely, dog. You should. I don't think this game should give you any doubt of the defense. And this is kind of what I was saying. Earlier about the defense, target practice, is that you got to think they had 14 points for majority of the game. I'm going to actually look it up right now on the Gamecast because the defense held them to only 1 touchdown majority of the game. You guys got to think because one of those touchdowns came from the pick 6. So that means the offense gave a touchdown just like the defense gave a touchdown. But if you look at let's go to the recap real quick and see how the box score played out. Gamecast, I think they put the scores. Okay, so overtime they got a field goal. So in the first, so we held them to 1 touchdown for the first 3 quarters. For the first 3 quarters of the game, we held them to 1 touchdown. In the 4th quarter, with 8 minutes and 30 seconds left, we let them kick a field goal, and then, of course, at the very end, with 2 seconds left, we let them get a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. So, literally, the very, very end of the game, we let them get 10 points, and then at the beginning of the game, we let them score on the Malcolm Brown run. And before the defense ever gave up any points, the offense threw a pick 6. So, you got to think the defense gave up a touchdown in the first quarter with 3 minutes in the first quarter left. That's when the defense gave up the first score. The next time the defense let them score was in the 4th quarter with 8 minutes left, and that was a 46-yard field goal. So between the first quarter with 3 minutes left and the 4th quarter with 8 minutes left, they didn't score. You feel me? So the defense played pretty good, man. You right on point, target practice. We held them to field goals. Well, they really only got 1 field goal, honestly. They scored twice in regulation, and they got 1 field goal. So the defense played pretty good now that you look back, man. That's pretty good. We held them to only score in the last seconds of the 4th quarter and literally the first quarter. Outside of that, they didn't score. So that's solid right there. That's definitely solid. That's definitely solid from the defense, man. And then when you look at the offense didn't score in the first quarter. So the offense definitely starts slow, and they didn't score in the first quarter. And to my point earlier, what I was saying, when they scored that touchdown in the first quarter, we went for it. So the reason they were in that good field position is because we went for it, and then they ended up getting the ball, and Malcolm Brown ran a 24-yard touchdown run. and I think we turned the ball over going for it on fourth down on like our own 38, 40-yard line, something like that. So our defense balled out. Now that I look back at it, I'm gonna go back, man, and watch. I'm gonna have to go back and see what's going on with that. That's interesting, man. Now that I actually look at the breakdown on how they only scored in the first quarter because of that turnover on downs we had on offense, and then in the last 2 seconds, the defense played well, y'all. That's good, yo. That's good. Loved Carr showing leadership, saying to get back. Yeah, most definitely. Carr's out there with growing out his hair, doing whatever the hell he wants, and I'm not mad at him. Go ahead, man. Go ahead. Martin T in the building. Maybe grew. Should watch 10 Cup, man. You funny as hell, man. You funny as hell, Martin T. John Gruden is funny, man. You could definitely tell he has that TV personality still. You could definitely see he out there funny as hell. They needed to get them stops on fourth down. I agree, man. I agree. But the thing is, you got to think we had mishaps, yo. We had one time to where we stopped them, and Perriman gets called for unnecessary roughness because he hit him with his helmet. With, in my opinion, the dude's going for the first down. You have to smack this dude, and he's in the dude in possession of the ball puts his head down, curls down, and it's kind of hard for the defender to not hit him. It's just hard in those situations. We get a penalty for that. That's the first down. Then Max Crosby smacks Jacoby Brissett late. That's a penalty. So we had two penalties, our 15-yard penalties, that basically put them all the way downfield. That was tough. That was a tough break, man. That was a tough break, man. Snoop's in the building. He says, right. Solomon Thomas has been showing up. Most definitely, man. And that's why I have to do a film session, a film study, and drop that for y'all with Solomon Thomas, because I did want a Solomon Thomas already. And this is when he came over from the 49ers in the offseason. I looked at his film and I didn't like it. I did not like Solomon Thomas coming in because of his film. That's it. I didn't judge it off anything else. I just watched the film and I didn't like it. He's proved me wrong. He's proved me 100% wrong. He's shown that in the things that I said good about him, he's showing that, okay, that's legit. But he's showing that he's getting more technique, and that's what I like to see. Before in the film, I didn't really see that technique when it came to Solomon Thomas, when it came to his hand movements. I feel like it was based off of all his genetics, his build. The dude is fast. The dude is, if you've not seen Solomon Thomas, the dude looks like a freaking monster, right? I think his technique was lacking, and that's what he's really worked on. And I'm just glad to see it. Maybe he need better coaching, different coaching, maybe not better coaching, because I know the Niners know how to coach their D-line, but maybe you just need different coaching and different players, different veterans, mentors around him. And he's starting to do very well. He proved me wrong 100%. And I'm glad to see it. What's good with the Raiders, Ragnar? Silent Goldie says, we won in a way getting that safety and gain the momentum back. Yeah, let's talk about Casey Hayward. Is Casey Hayward CB1? I think without a doubt, Casey Hayward is CB1, man. Casey Hayward with that safety, that was gold. I don't know what the hell the Dolphins were thinking, but, yo, that was gold. That was definitely gold by Casey Hayward. He was making pass breakups in the Steelers game too. This game, he was balling out. I mean, the dude is a big time. He's going to the Pro Bowl at this rate. He's definitely going to the Pro Bowl at this rate. Watch Raider, does anyone know if Nate Hobbs is okay? Nate Hobbs is okay. Was he ruled out or something like that? I don't remember seeing anything about Nate Hobbs being out or potentially I don't remember anything about Nate Hobbs. I might be wrong, though. I don't know. Update me, Watts. If you hear anything, Watts, let us know in the chat, man, because I don't know if Hobbs – I think Hobbs is fine. I think most of our guys are fine, but our DBs were getting banged up. That's a good point, Watts. I'm glad Watts said that, because y'all seen Trayvon Merritt go down. Y'all seen Trayvon Mullen go down. Nate Hobbs, Casey Hayward. All of our DBs, every single starter on our defense basically went down. Matter of fact, Abram didn't. So, man, I haven't seen anybody say anything about Diablo yet. Hobbs is good. Raider Carlos in the building says Hobbs is good. Didn't Hobbs finish the game? Yeah, I feel like he did. That's what I'm saying. I don't think He got dinged, but he came back 2 plays later. Yeah. Okay. Appreciate you clarifying, Calvin. Deal clarifying. Yeah. So everybody in the chat clarifying. Appreciate it. Appreciate everybody in the chat clarifying that. Yeah, I remember him getting a little dinged up, but I don't remember him actually like being out like that. Ray, hey, Jesse Rodas just pulled up on us. He says, Ray, let's talk about all the no calls called on the holding on the defensive. Dude, Jesse, do you feel like because our defensive line is better that we're just going to start seeing that this season? Because I feel like when the defensive line is good, you'll see them get held more. Man, I got to catch my breath. Let me get a little drink of this tea. Hold up. After this, I gotta go get my wake and bake on, yo. Oof. After this, I gotta get my wake and bake on. But Jesse, I feel like because our defensive line is getting better, that we'll see that, man. We're gonna see that. I feel like we've seen it against the Steelers. I feel like we've seen it against the Steelers, man. Like we gonna start seeing that as our defensive line gets better and better and better. But what y'all think about Nate Hobbs? Or not Nate Hobbs, excuse me, Devon Diablo. Okay. Diablo let Miami burn him on 4th and 20. I gotta see what yo, Raider Dangersfield. Appreciate you pulling up, dog. Appreciate you pulling up. Definitely gonna make you a mod. You're already a mod. Jack Kennon's a mod. OTN6, Raiders football, Deadly Pez, Raider Dangersfield. You're a mod. Appreciate you pulling up, dog. Appreciate you pulling up. Raider Dangersfield. Everybody say peace to Raider Dangersfield. Have a good day at work, brother. It's Monday. We're 3-0. Have a good week. Have a good week at work, brother. Everybody say peace to Raider Dangersfield. Diablo shouldn't have been there. Yeah, let me know what y'all think about Diablo. Drop the comments down. I'm gonna be going through the comments. Diablo look confused and slow. Okay. Hobbs strong tackle. Yeah, Hobbs likes to hit, yo. Yeah, peace out, Raider Dangerfield. Have a good one, brother. Everybody showing love right now. Man, Diablo has barely played. He was out there though, Watts. He was out there. He was out there definitely in the action. Diablo was definitely in situations to where he can make some plays, to where he was definitely in the action. He was definitely in the action. I'm looking week 10 or week 11 bye week. Let me check real quick. Bye week is week 8, brother. I seen somebody ask about the bye week. Silver Life Rob. Bye week is week 8, brother. I got the schedule as my screen on my phone, so I gotta just check real quick. Let's see. Graph Live, yes sir. I know he's doing his morning show, coffee and combo this morning. Yes sir. I know he's doing his coffee and combo this morning. Me and Graph, we just gotta get together on a morning show, man. We just gotta get together on a morning show, man. I think we just had some miscommunication, and that's it. Cause we would just be trying to do our thing, man. Season started. Everybody Raider content creators been pretty busy since the season's been started, man. Diablo needs more time. Yeah, most definitely, man. I'm not knocking him. I just want to know what y'all, the chat gang, knows, or what the chat gang thinks about Diablo. Diablo, Ricky growing pains, most definitely, dog. What is the job of mod? The mod is basically you moderate the comments, make sure nobody out there tweaking. Make sure nobody in the comments tweaking, saying anything foul, crazy, out of line. You know what I mean? You got to keep it nice, cordial. I don't mind people cussing. I don't mind people, you know what I mean, talking slick every now and then, but you can't say anything that crosses the line. Yo, that'll get you booted real quick. Oh, so Doc's pulled up, most definitely. Doc's in the building. Graph is in the building. Yes, sir. So he looked lost. Yeah, I mean, like everybody was saying, he's a young cat. He's a young cat. What do you think about Chiefs losing to Chargers? I'm glad you brought it up, man. I'm about to get off. This is about to be my last question. This is about to be my last question right here. And what does this mean? 8? What's that mean? 8? What's good with it? Yo, Doc's in the building. I think Doc's. Let's see, I'm still waiting on my mind status. Yeah, Jesse, I got you, man. Matter of fact, let me do this real quick. I'm about to do my notes. All right, Jesse Rodas, moderator. Mods. Jesse, mod. Jesse, mod. Dick Vitale, mod. Terrence L. Carey Jr. is a mod. Charm City mod. Charm City _410. Charm City _410. Yeah, week 8 is our bye week, yes, sir. Ryan, dog, I can't. You gotta pull up. You gotta pull up. You gotta get real familiar. I gotta get real familiar with your Ryan Wuma Vava. Yo, that's a hell of a last name, brother. That's a hell of a last name. Watch Raider mod. I think his shoulder popped that. Yep. Already got Graph as a mod. Got Honcho as a mod. Andy all in. Diablo. Okay. Yo, I've been on here an hour though. Appreciate everybody pulling up. Look out for my next video, man. I'm gonna be dropping. What happened? Where everybody? I'm gonna be dropping a video, and then in the video, I'm gonna go ahead and give a shout out for my 4K subscriber giveaway. And my giveaway is going to be the Brian Edwards. It's gonna be the Brian Edwards floating image. Got it signed. It's gonna be in the next video. Make sure y'all check out the next video. And I'm gonna be doing that giveaway. Appreciate y'all pulling up. Y'all know what time it is. I hope y'all have a great week. Make sure y'all stay healthy, stay well. And until next time, y'all, you know what time it is.